Is it really possible for a tiny tweak to your morning coffee routine to ignite your metabolism and put your body into full fat-burning mode for the rest of the day?
Check out the link in the video description now and transform your morning coffee into a metabolism-boosting super drink.
From dousing precious Van Gogh artwork with orange paint to crashing a West End performance of Les Miserables, there isn't much Just Stop Oil won't do to get their message across. Since the group exploded onto the scene in 2022, they have continued to commit controversial acts all in the name of Mother Nature. They haven't shied away from disrupting the British public's day-to-day lives either, shutting down the Dartford Bridge and nearly causing an accident by trespassing on the tracks of the Grand Prix. However, their latest stunt desecrating the Stonehenge has been met with strong criticism and frustration as political figures from across the spectrum have called for tougher sentences for the eco-clowns. As they continue with their protests, which saw some recently break into an airfield believing they were lathering Taylor Swift's jet with paint, we take a look at the divisive group's top 10 worst moments. Their most recent blunder saw two Just Stop Oil activists trample through a security barrier at Stonehenge and sprawled their orange paint across the ancient stones. Video footage posted on social media showed two people, wearing white shirts with Just Stop Oil emblazoned on the front, running up to the ancient monoliths with canisters and spraying paint all over them. In a heroic attempt to stop the group desecrating the stones, one woman was seen desperately trying to drag the protesters away before other members of the public piled in to help her. The protesters, who were named as Niamh Lynch, 21, a student from Oxford, and Rajan Naidu, 73, from Birmingham, have now been arrested by police on suspicion of damaging the historical monument. However, the eco-clowns continue to stand by their actions despite fears they may have impacted a very rare lichen that lives on the rocks. In an interview with Sky News, Just Stop Oil supporter Ben Larson, 26, said, "Well, you can call them criminal damage if you like, it's a bit of orange dust on a rock that's weathered 5,000 years of British weather." He added, "It's a beautiful ancient monument, but this is orange dust. It's orange dust on stone. All that we need to do is wait for it to rain, and all this will be washed off. And these have been the 18 wettest months on record. So we're not going to have to wait very long even. It's unwise to get hung up on tactics." Although English Heritage have said there is no visible damage to Stonehenge, history steward Tim Daw has aired his concerns for the lichen plant organisms on the stone. Mr. Daw told BBC Breakfast that he was worried about the lichen on the monument, and said of yesterday's attack, "I was shocked and saddened. I couldn't believe it. Stonehenge is so precious, not just to me, but to so many people. To do this act, which I think has worked against their cause, just seems pointless and damaging." English Heritage, which manages Stonehenge, said removing the orange powder could still have a harmful impact though by eroding the already fragile stone and damaging the lichens. Usually people go to the theater to sit back, relax and enjoy the show, but that proves slightly impossible when Just Stop Oil are in town. Unfortunately for some theatergoers, Just Stop Oil decided to make their own feature during a performance of Les Miserables in London's West End last year. The group made their theater debut during a pivotal moment in the musical, taking the stage whilst brandishing their own flag. The interruption also confused the audience, who up until this point had presumably wanted the revolutionaries to win. Playing out at Sondheim Theatre, the act was stopped at about 9 p.m. on October 5 last year when activists locked themselves to the set. The angry audience of around 1,000 people were asked to leave the auditorium before the performance was brought to a screeching halt around an hour later. The estimated price tag of cancelling the performance was an eye-watering £60,000 for the theatre. Hannah Taylor, 23, Lydia Gribben, 28, Hanan Amur, 22, Noah Crane, 18, and Poppy Bliss, 19, denied aggravated trespass, and all five were found guilty. Determined to inconvenience every part of British life, the eco-warriors also set their sight on the world of sport. Only occurring every 2 years, the Ashes is among the most anticipated sporting events. Many sportsmen were presumably more concerned about bagging the win than just